advantage, sort of, well, they 10 rounds in a row to win. And at the end, they went into a really confident second half, and that's the important thing, you know, that you can take that with you. In the end, it still became very close, but hey, that was the result from the previous map. Let's now have a look and see how the knife round is going to go in this case. If it is going to be Nexus here continuing, or if it's going to be Apex now coming back, if they're going to give off, you know, or take that knife round for them and start on their preferred side.
Well, first a little bit of a face-off, looking into each other's eyes, trying
romantic.
No, not really romantic. They're a little bit threatening. Like, I'm gonna stab you, and eventually they will. It's going to be a little bit of a duel coming out in favor of Nexus side. And, well, again, actually, they will be able to decide what side they want to start on. And yet again, they will start on that CT side as well. There is no surprise there whatsoever, as it does mean that, well, of course, they should have the advantage. Will they, however, we won't know just yet.
Are you worried?
I'm not worried.
No?
I'm just a little bit scared. I think that's worse, right?
Oh, no, that's worse. Yes, actually.
And if Apex loses, I won't be mad. I'll be disappointed.
Ooh.
That's also worse, right?
Ooh, like an angry parent, sort of.
No,
you know?
no.
Like
I'll just be like, I expected better from them. And of course, they would have expected better from themselves, because
sounds painful.
going in towards this match, they would have expected themselves to be able to win. Yet so far, it seems like they're struggling. On Nuke, they didn't start off well on the T side. And I think if you're going to pick a map, your T side should be quite strong. And
Absolutely.
They just didn't really vary too much in towards their setups on the CT side. They were able to bounce back quite well. Yet also giving away a lot of money, having very sloppy 1v1 peaks. And also on Mirage, that could come in as a factor which will come to haunt them and possibly lose them the map. But first, let's see this first pistol round to come out. Nexus all towards the CT side, as we said before. USPs in hands, and of course, Raga is a little bit different, and SDP 2000. And let's see if he can get 2,000 frags by the end of the day.
I don't think so, sadly. You know, whilst I do believe he's a very strong player, I don't see him getting 2,000 frags. I know, surprising, I'm sorry. But who knows, right? Maybe he'll surprise us.
Sometimes a surprise every now and then is very nice and necessary as a human being.
Ooh, wow, this is is this also some sort of relationship tip, you know? Like sometimes...
Oh yeah, I'll be your manager, or at least psychologist, if we do see a utility setup going down towards that A side. Apex going for that approach, yet not being tagged up themselves yet. Also not really dealing too much damage as well. Zella with the first frag. Marcelicious, there's a player to your left, I would assume. Indeed, Beaton is there, but Saminti gets the frags. There's only Dennis alive. He taps away one with the P250, but that is all they will get, as well as a bomb plant. So we would imagine there to be most likely a force buy coming in from Apex, as when you do get a plant on that T-side pistol, you can nowadays buy quite decently, of course, with the reworked loss bonus.
Well, it is a good expectation, and it looks to be one of the things that Apex might be doing here. You can see it as well, you know, look at that cash. It's almost 3,000, actually. That's a very solid amount to really work with. I'd even dare say that maybe an AK or two is going to pop up here, or at the very least a Galil. It looks to be indeed 2 Galils, 1 AK, and a Scout in the hands of Marcelicious. Now, we've seen Marcelicious really perform with that Scout, you know. He's really shown up. So I truly believe that he might be able to do that again. Xello, though, really strong smoke spray. And Beaton, in the end, actually gets the frag from that. Largely thanks to, of course, Xello's help there, I'd say. Truth now pushing onto the bomb side. He can actually gain some ground here, but Beaton's going to fight it off. Of course, the AK is a little bit better in that case. Means that Truth gets the frag and equalizes it out again. Spray down, though, not really on point. Xello and Saminte really showing up here. Frags going to them. It's a 3K in total between the two of them. And Marcelicious all by himself.
Well, he's standing there on Tetris trying to play a different game, as it's that 1v4. He's standing by, hearing utility fly overhead. And soon he will have to go for a peek, or at least he's hoping one of the Nexus players will be a little bit sloppy, but so far they're not really... Oh, the knife! I am coming in, and I said, well, there won't be a knife, but I figured there'd be an ace sooner or later. But I could have actually gone for that one. There's 2 knives already in for the Nexus sides in 2 maps. And they're doing quite well. 2-0 ahead right now. A good start out on towards an eco from the Norwegian side. most likely there to be a third to come in, and the odds are now changed in towards their favor. And just look at it. I am saying, don't peek. I'll get him.
I really, I put in the first day, right? The first day that we started, I put 20 on there being a knife in the map, and I'm just imagining, right, looking at the odds as well. That would have been
You'd be a millionaire.
A 5 times return on investment, and now it just doesn't come through. It's so sad. Xelo, though, he does he doesn't come through. He gets fragged, as a matter of fact. Beaton, though, along with Im, they can sort of make a bit of a difference from Connector from short. Im indeed does go for the frag, takes out Grus. Beaton here finishes it off. Nexus for the 3rd round so far. And those lads are off to a lovely start in the first map, of course. In Nuke, Apex was able to, well, throw it back, or I believe, well, there was more contention in the beginning, you know. Now it's looking way more favorable for Nexus. Now it's looking like they, from the start, are going to go for a strong and decisive start. And if this continues, then, oh dear, I am, well, worrying for you and your predictions. I'm looking a bit more positively at my own predictions and my own, well, investments, you know, like a businessman who decided to go for the right decision, decided to go for Nexus. But we're still early on. It can still go lots of ways. And this time, maybe Apex is turning it around as Grus gets the frag on Beaton there. Xelo now might be able to come in from mid here. Oh, almost was a collateral, but it's only going to be the one. Grus continues there, gets his 2nd kill of the round. And now it's all down to Saminte with his teammate to hold it off here. Raga, though, he comes in clutch, takes out Akez, but now Truth and Marcelicious open up the entire B-bomb site for themselves, as Im is the only one left standing, and I do wonder if he's even going to try and contest this. Doesn't look like it.
No, it seems to be a very hard 4th round. Of course, he knows that the players on the side of Apex will be low. But of course, it's going to be dangerous trying to peek in yourself. It's going to be Im saving the AWP from, of course, his teammate, and was able to get a beautiful kill in. However, Im now being spotted and now has to move away. And we do see that, well, eventual first round come in from Apex rather soon. Of course, on their first real buy round. It's still going to be a very hard round, as Truth is just trying to pre-fire on the guy that's already dead on towards the bench. On their previous round, by the way, when I saw the Glock coming in, I was already preparing my "we lose to Glocks." Of course, a classic American Counter-Strike saying, as well. Luckily, that didn't happen for the side of Nexus, and they're now still leading 3-1. Able to buy back in towards this one with their funds saved up in the previous rounds. And Apex is trying to get something going for them. Trying to get a hype train for the Norwegian team going. Yet, well, so far, it seems like in the previous and this map, the Romanian side is quite methodical, quite strong, and now also carrying 2 AWPs.
We do like seeing that double AWP setup on Mirage. Xelo going aggressive with it. And now the utility is thrown in his face and forces him out of his position. That nade isn't really going to connect, though. He was already too far onto the A-bomb site to have that deal any more damage. Akez, though, or Akez, though, he might be able to pull something off here. All will depend. Now smoke is being refreshed, and delay is being put in by the Nexus side. Take the time for you know, force that hand of Apex and get that time advantage on your side.
Is it also some life advice? Take you time. Just.
Did I say take you time?
Yeah, take some you time.
Yeah, take some you time,
just
people. You know,
be there for yourself.
Don't take me. Yeah, basically, you know, it's the kind of wrong way of saying take some me time.
Be in touch with your inner spirits and be ready
Absolutely.
to possibly bounce back in towards a match. Apex does need some time for their own, possibly some highlight reels as well. As Akez now takes the first frag on towards Xelo. Russ has already moved through in towards CT, taking down IM as well, and seems like Nexus is currently falling. Bomb, however, is now also fallen as BTN will go down. And that means it's only Raga alive in a 1v4. Trying to throw in some shots with the AWP. Of course, the second they have in this round. Yet, well, he won't really win anything. He'll just try to save and keep that weapon for himself. As we do see now a play to come in towards him. It's a little bit of a chase, yet will they be able to do it? It's going to be Truth moving in. But I don't think he will be in time, as the bomb will soon explode. And of course, it should be a round going in favor of Apex with no real casualties on their side.
We'll see, though. Dennis here, he could come in clutch, but Raga, he is the only man left standing. Best thing he can do is save that AWP there, keep that in his hands, and really make the best out of it. I believe that with that, Nexus can turn it around, go for that second round win, and really just, well, try and make the best out of it. We'll see, though. Apex now... Oh, Raga, how can you lose that? No!
That's a B-hop and a half
that's-
first, and Nate comes in, and then just some
such a
beautiful
shame.
movement. And with the AWP, it's very hard to keep that going, as we do see that second round indeed coming in from Apex, denying every weapon held in towards the hand of Nexus. It's going to be an eco to come out from the CT side. The Romanians having some trouble of their own. And let's see if they are able to bounce back a little bit, as of course it's going to be IM moving in a little bit more aggressively on towards that mid area, looking if he can make something work yet. The utility, of course, will try to deny him with those AKs in hands, and even a PP Bison for Marcelius.
Oh, we do like seeing that PP Bison, though. That is a fun weapon to use. You might call it a bit of a pea shooter, but honestly, I think that it can still sometimes come in clutch. We've seen it before. We've seen people get some really good frags with that thing. And, you know, I believe in it. I want to see it work. I want to see Marcelicious come in clutch here and show himself, you know, show that he can prove that he can really use that weapon. Raga, though, now getting mollied out, and the nade on top means that that molly even turns into a kill. Now Apex here having a better potential, looking even more positive towards that, you know, equalizer. 3 rounds for either side could be the result, especially as Dennis now takes out him there. And with that, I'm afraid that Nexus can pretty much write off this round.
Well, currently the odds in favor of Nexus. Via Vi.gg, we see that there's a 67% chance for them to win this series, as of course they have managed to, well, bring it home on their opponent's map pick. Now going towards their own. Of course, they will now equal the score with a 3-2-3, but still they seem to be strong. Ooh, P-shooter coming in. Marcelius getting one frag on towards Zello. That's at least $600 earned for himself, and Dennis will do the same. Yet he needs 2 frags with the AK. Still is going to be cleaning house, and well, Nexus not doing anything in return, giving, as we can see, quite some funds towards Apex. They have reserves to go upon, and as long as they keep the plan going, they can buy for a very long time if they do start losing.
And that is the danger, of course. It's that economy pressure that we've often highlighted. It's important to really get your opponent down, you know, to really show them that they don't really stand a chance anymore, to make sure that their economy doesn't allow them to recover. With that also, this being a critical round, this being a round where Nexus has to show up and where they have to prove that they can come back.
A smoke to directly counter the molly being thrown by the side of Apex, as it seems like mid-pressure will be key for Nexus in this round. Akis goes down on towards B-Tom, as IM has now been boosted. The PP Bison gets a frag on towards B-Tom. There will be a push going in towards Marcelius. That's cleaning house from the side of Nexus. Only one more player standing for just a few seconds longer, as Seminti moves in on towards Struve, and that is a very good, clean comeback from Nexus. Now regaining the lead as well, but of course they know there will be a buy coming in towards their side fairly soon. And I'm concerned that Apex might not just go for some easy executes. Currently they're just playing for mid-control every round, but I just want to see possibly a B execute, an A execute. And then maybe just one player from Underpass trying to contest as well.
Do you want them to try and kind of play the more classic game?
Well, sometimes you can go for a little bit of default, because this round as well, you saw from Nexus, they're really heavy on their mid-pressure.
Absolutely.
So if you do smoke off those rotators coming down from Connector, it's going to be an easier round for yourself and for your team.
You make a very solid point there. The only problem being that Apex, well, I'd assume that they aren't listening along to the cast, you know. Maybe
well, I hope they won't.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very nice, of course, but we'll see. Maybe they will get the well, sense of it later on in the game, you know. Important that they do win this round, and it starts off well for them. Marcelius can take out Xello. There are still a little bit of reserves left on the Apex side, so to speak, so if they lose this, they could kind of even it out, but it all depends. It looks favorable for them. Dennis and Truth both getting a frag in that round. Raga and Im being the last 2 left standing now. Smoke here holds off him, and he doesn't really stand much of a chance of pushing through that. So the plant will come in momentarily as the bomb makes its way on top of the site.
It's going to be that 2-on-5, most likely not to be contested too much by the side of Nexus, trying to go for some exit frags, as they also do not carry that defuse kit. Raga, here's a player moving in close. That's going to be the first frag on towards Struve. I am actually moving in, spots a player at stairs, but also a Tetris, and he has to choose, and he chooses wrong. Akis with one frag in return now makes it into a 1v4, and he'll try to keep on towards, of course, his AK, hoping that the next round will work out a little bit better for his team. He has some funds. I do believe some of the other teammates might have some money to work with as well. Yet I don't think their buy will be all too great. Meaning that Apex now equalizes the score, will build some economy once more, and well, their reserves are still looking quite solid. So whenever Nexus does something in return, they should still be wary that if they don't survive with enough players, Apex will just be stronger. Just will have that better buy because their funds are just too strong. Also this round, surviving with 4 players again, they're saving loads of money.
It's dangerous, you know, for Nexus. It builds up a reserve for Apex that they can utilize in the next round. That means that even the worst rounds might not be that bad.
No, me. We have
Imee.
apparently
I've been
mispronounced his
saying
name for a long time. As Zello now has an AWP. It's going to be Gruss with the death from the side of Apex so far. And he rage quits. Or at least he tries to reconnect most likely soon. As,
I give up. I don't want to play anymore. I'm
just
done.
Kicks his computer in. It's done for. As we do see that 5-4. Nexus in favor currently in towards this round. Imee standing on towards that short area waiting for something to happen, or at least a player to contest, and one player will go in towards the connector area. Spots a player out. That's going to be Raga dying, but Cementi already coming in as a flanker, as it's going to be that 4-on-3 situation. Committed towards that A side must come out from the Apex side, yet the rotate's already in, and once more there will be a player also coming from that ramp position. Another frag comes in for Zello. Cementi also following up onto Marcelius, leaving only Truth alive. And the truth of the fact is that they lose a round, they are once more behind, but of course they will be able to rebuy quite decently. Yet their reserves slowly diminishing.
Yes, it will take another round to really get those all the way down. Or, well, Imee gets shot there, and Truth gets the frag for him, but still, it doesn't look too favorable. If they play this defensive enough, then Nexus should be able to turn this round into their hand. Xelo or Xelo even eventually gets the frag, takes out Truth, and well, I suppose that means he just can't really stand, I guess, the hard reality. He can't deal with the truth.
Sometimes it just hurts, you know, as we do see Nexus being in that lead. 5-4. Once more having to play against a full buy on the Apex side. AK is being dropped all around. And we will see as it's going to be Apex trying to once more equalize the score, something we've seen many of times. Usually they survive with enough players to have some reserves as well. That's going to be Zello with the opening kill on towards Marcelius. That's going to be a decent start. Dennis now on the AWP for the side of Apex, seeing Raga also go low, but the utility comes in. Akis will go down.
Solid.
And that's a clean second frag coming in. However, Raga, of course, tagged up, but it doesn't matter because they had that player advantage by 2. And that means it's going to be Apex having struggles in yet another round, hoping they can bounce back. And apparently we're still doing it wrong.
It's, you know what?
Imee.
Yeah, Imee, clearly, you know, I guess there's a bit of a problem there. You know, we aren't Romanian after
No?
all. No, at least no. Sorry, I'm Belgian, and to my knowledge, you've always been Dutch, unless you've got
yes.
you've got.
I used to play a lot of pugs with a Romanian player.
Really?
Yeah, he was such a nice guy.
Aw.
Like, we talked every day.
Yeah, I know.
And
Like Romanian people, I love them. Every one of them that I know, and they've always been super nice people. Let's see though, Xelo. Oh, collateral, maybe. No, not the second. No scope could have maybe been there, but sadly it wasn't. Gruss now tries to hold it off towards CT.
But the bomb can go towards B.
Oh no.
Dennis has the
Oh,
angle,
it's
and there's no
open.
player holding off because, of course, Gruss is trying to contest whatever he can, and he's doing quite well until he falls. Raga with another frag makes it a second for himself, and now Nexus, you should maybe be wary of a bump indeed going down on towards his side, as they are currently on towards A. And they're now noticing that that bomb plant has gone through. It's going to be Dennis to hold it off in the 1v3, holding the wrong angle at this moment in time because all players are coming from short. He does have a nade. That could be a double kill as Cementi and Raga are both rather low. But Imee
Emi, yes,
will
we're
be
getting
coming
it right.
in as well. It's going to be Dennis with the first frag. Now will be faced off by Raga. It's a 1v1. Emi is low. No, he isn't. He's on full HP, but Dennis is, and the wallbang comes in, and it's a great clutch. Yet it could have been a round for the Apex side. It was rather scary.
That was close. I was expecting the Dennis 3K there, to be honest. I was almost rooting for him a little bit. It was close, but sadly not there. You know, in the end, Nexus gets the 6th round, building up their CT side advantage a little bit. We can see it again here. Dennis gets the first one, gets the second, but sadly with the low HP and the spray down, I believe it was actually a wall bang here. Yep, through the edge of the box, I'd say. Means that the fuse can come in from Emi. And with that now, Nexus maybe having a chance to go for a kind of similar, you know, end result. Go for a similar 10-5 if they keep this up now.
Like the problem was as well, he's standing next to a wall-bangable box, which with his low HP already made him quite susceptible. Emi will now get a kill on towards Gruz, makes it into a 5-4. I'm a little bit worried that we might have to say Ime or something, because
Well, they'll correct us.
They'll correct us in the end. It usually takes a little bit of time, and well, we'll be there in the end. Then I do now at least hope even more that Nexus will be winning, because then at least we'll have learned a new name properly for yet another series. And of course, the winner of this series will be able to face off against the winner of Crazy taking on Hellraisers. And so far, Nexus seem to be just that. And it is Ime as is going to be Marcelius with yet a 2 frag for his own. But it will be a 1v3 still to be found. He doesn't have the bomb, as it has been dropped somewhere else, and he will fall to Zello. And it's going to be a crazy good start for Nexus so far.
Okay, you know, so far at least one thing that I can say also from these language lessons that we're getting, Nexus, their performance definitely isn't meh. But apparently the name tends to be E-meh. So that's that. We're doing our best, ladies and gentlemen. Look again at that lovely double kill from him coming in there. Nexus now with a 3-round advantage. And so far, Apex on a bit of a loss streak now. They've also only got the upgraded pistols. And let's see if Nexus can keep this up now. If they can keep the pressure on and maybe even end out this first half with an even better result than they did in the previous map.
Well, so far Apex back on towards an eco. And it hurts because, well, they were rather close for quite some time. Now they're losing out big time because Nexus will be able to extend their very nice lead so far, possibly to an 8-4. It's going to be a clean round so far, as indeed Gruz will also go down. And that's going to be that 8-4 that we were talking about in Apex. Well, buying in this time, hoping to do well in the end.
And I think that really this is a solid chance now. You can see that streak starting to develop itself. This is going to be another, well, comeback opportunity for Apex now. But I believe, well, with their loss bonus, their buy should actually be good enough now. And yep, you can see it. There's mostly utility there. It's only Dennis who has to give off a little bit. You know, he doesn't have everything there. But now, who knows? Apex could make this their round. Maybe. He goes down this time. Dennis takes him out. Beaton is there with the refrag, though.
Well, I think we've
got
found a mark.
We got it!
Or Ime is the right one. It's going to be a 4-on-4. It's going to be Nexus doing really well. I almost messed it up already because people were so happy. I was getting happy as well. It's going to be Beaton, going to be rather low. But still, they are able to hold on so far. And it's going to be, of course, Nexus trying to extend their lead once more. 8-4, already good. They just want to get those double digits in once more because they did it on Nuke. They managed to win it in the end. And now they want to have that 2-0.
And that 2-0 is very likely now. The odds are also looking, well, much more favorable for Nexus now. You can see on the Vi.gg odds there, 1.13 for Nexus and 4.65 for Apex. Of course, the match odds, those are not the map odds. We'll see how the rest is going to develop. Also down to Raga here. He does get the initial frag. Gruz taken out. And with that now, he comes in. The second isn't quite there. Truth and Akez both get a frag. Cello comes in from Market, goes for the second! The absolute madman! The plant is down from Apex, though. It's down to Beaton and Akez. Beaton and Cello. They have to show Akez who's boss.
Well, Beaton does quite well as he does down Akez with a easy shot, and that means 9-4, but Zello doing the work. Him standing there in the window, I figured he will go down. And, well, still he managed to make it work, as so far Nexus seems to be strong. And, well, learning their names, I'm learning to love them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, definitely starting to, how do I put it? You know, it does give a bit of a more amenable, a bit of a more favorable personality to the team, you have to say.
I'm already feeling like I'm becoming best friends with the Nexus players.
Exactly. However, though, we do have to say, you know, no bias there. Apex, they've still got a solid chance here. You know, maybe the T side just isn't their side. They do have a chance to come back on their CT side, you know, and they can actually open off, or well, finish off this first half with 2 rounds more. Would be only a 3-round difference. That's workable. You can come back from that. It doesn't start too well for them, though. You can see Xelo, Seminter here might hold off towards Palace, and it's going to depend where Apex is going to send the rest of their players. There's heavy RAM presence. There is utility to work with, enough. So let's see if they keep this up now, if they actually push onto the site successfully.
Apparently, Beaton is actually BTN, so we're just going to go back towards that one.
Clearly.
Try to spell it out. Seminte is standing by. He does get a frag on towards Akis, and he will get another on towards Gruss, and this will seal the deal as Marcelius somehow flies in towards Sandwich. He was apparently hungry, and that means it's a 10-4 lead so far in favor of Nexus. And, well, I'm a little bit scared for Apex now. My prediction, out of the window.
Yep. So prediction. I'm sorry for you, you know, but at least
you'll be winning.
It's still a learning experience.
Finally, you're getting back, and indeed,
yes.
I'm just going to be a little bit.
It's been so long. It's been so long, but yeah, I do have a serious deficit to make up here. Nexus now, speaking of deficits, they don't have one whatsoever. They have a 6-round advantage, and Gruss, good push here from mid, takes out Xelo, but Seminsa immediately refrags him and goes to the second, the third, but not the fourth. Truth does cancel him out there, takes him out, and now BTN comes in, takes out Marcelius. Only Truth left, and he does have the bomb, or maybe not even that. He goes down in the end to Ime, and with that now, Nexus have a very, very convincing CT side. Very well played by them. Apex now going off to a very, very challenging CT side. You can say that Mirage, you know, it is maybe a little bit CT favored, but even then, the odds for Apex are not looking favorable, and everything is really pointing towards the Nexus side here.
Well, so far, Apex struggling, and as you say, it is usually CT-sided. It all depends on the team as well. If you're quite strong and you get some momentum going for yourself on the T side, it will be very hard for, of course, the CT side to buy back into it. Those AWPs, not exactly necessary, but it's quite nice to have to get those opening kills, at least a little bit of a contention towards possibly, of course, also that mid area. And we will now see Apex trying to bring it back, at least the pistol. If they lose that one, I think they're out of the picture. Yet, of course, well, so far they have been sometimes quite strong on pistol, winning both on nuke, yet losing the first one on towards this map.
We'll see. Maybe, just maybe, they'll get it now. I think it's an important stepping stone for them. They definitely need to get that in their hands. Need to show Nexus that they can still fight back. Can see the utility from Nexus fly in now. Smokes towards Connector. Putting up a good wall there. Should allow them to get onto the site. Raga meticulously checking those angles. Goes for the first frag. Actually, that's Ime and BTN. He gets Gruss with the nade even. Oh, and that is a painful start to the round for Apex. Xelo quite aggressively even pushing ahead. Dennis does get a frag on Raga though. Xelo goes to the engagement, and the second does come in there. Leaves only Truth left, and oh, from Connector, whilst he may be able to take out some Inter, it's not much more than that as Ime takes him out in the end, and Nexus grab the pistol and also the 12th round.
And it's Seminse.
Oh, this is
we're
starting to become
learning.
difficult, you know.
Well, the good thing is, we might have another series from them later on today, because of course the winner from this best of 3 will take on the winner of Crazy, taking on Hellraisers just after this one. And so far it seems like we might be going towards that second series quite rapidly, as Apex is struggling. They once more lost the pistol on towards this map, meaning that, well, currently the odds are ever in favor of Nexus, and as you can see on the Vital.gg odds at the scoreboard, it is going to be hard for Apex to come back in. First frag going in favor of Xelo, meaning we now have a 5-on-4, but damage has been dealt. 2 players are low, but Ime He's just trying to move up because he's still full. He's trying to find something for his team. And I'm scared that Apex might be losing this round as well. Of course, there's a force buy, and if they lose this force buy, we'll be going to 13 for Nexus. They have to eco. And then we would assume the Romanian side to be already on towards 14 rounds. The moment Apex can finally get their full buy in.
Yeah, right now it's looking very challenging for Apex. It's going to come down to this round, you know. It's going to be a Palace push that comes in from Nexus now. And Gruz should have spotted this. He did spot this, right?
And I think he spotted, or at least they spotted him out as well. It's going to be Ema and Seminse to get some frags in. Only one more player standing. That's Akis moving in with the Deagle. Gets one. But still, there's 4 more to find. The bomb is ticking. Ema will be cleaned as well. That's a very good double. Picking up the AK as well with his armor already being bought. As it is that force buy. Smoking the bomb at least. Maybe trying to figure it out. But, well, the smoke went a little bit too far. As he's trying to wallbang onto her Shadow. Raga will go for that contact play. And it's going to be 13-4. Nexus doing the work. And, well, I'm believing in a Romanian overruling of course, Group C. Because so far they have blown me out of the water. Doing really well. And I'm expecting them to do even better against a better team.
Yeah, I don't want to say I told you so, but
you did.
I kind of told you so.
I should have believed you.
Obviously, yeah,
you were wearing the same clothes as me, so I think I should respect you more.
I'd like to think that I was pretty convincing as well, you know, how I told you. But we'll see. Maybe, just maybe there's still a chance, a tiny, tiny chance for Apex to come back at this. You know, of course, has to be reiterated. Nexus also recovered 3 weapons in that previous round. Ema opens it up well. Akis goes down, and now it's once again off to a worrisome start. BTN takes out Marcelius, and Xelo pushes ahead through Connector. Ema here can go through Market, should be able to get another frag now as he hops in with his teammate. Truth, though, has a good angle, but doesn't connect it. It's a jumping kill, and Dennis, he doesn't even survive. This is looking so worrisome, and I'd almost say sad for Apex, you know? Nexus absolutely, well, to be quite blunt, kicking ass on Mirage, you know? This is, we could have expected a good performance statistically, you know? Mirage was looking favorable for them, you know, with the win ratings, but this is one of the most convincing maps that we've seen so far in the entire tournament.
Raga just flying out and also doing the jump on towards the hatch area. You could, of course, also try to B-hop through. Then you might be, if you're timing it correctly, incredibly fast. Yet this also apparently worked. And now we do see Nexus with, well, some decent reserves. Also now on towards a possible match point later on. If they do manage to win this one, we do see aggression coming down from the side of Apex, trying to get in closer. Yet, of course, Nexus is biding their time. They're waiting. They're going for mid control, and it seems like they've been granted that, as there is a player in balance from the CT side. Yet elsewhere, no real pressure to be found.
Nope, and being under pressure is, of course, quite tough, and Apex must also feel that pressure. Raga opens up this round, and we're getting so close to a map and match win for Nexus now. Emeth there takes out Truth, and with that, it's a 3v5, and we've seen 3v5s before. Sadly, they didn't look that favorable in the past for, well, I'd say Apex, but really either teams have sometimes whiffed those. So there's potential. Apex could come back from this, but now the push is onto the A site. Seminse here, there we go. Does get taken out by Gruz. However, Marcelius here doesn't get a critical AWP shot. He can repeat this angle, and he does succeed the second time around, taking out BTN. Xelo, though, gets Dennis, and now Raga holding Palace down, but there isn't anyone there anymore.
But Ema still has a nade as well. He could throw in towards CT. That would mean the end of Marcelius. It's going to be Gruz with the Frank. We'll get at least one flashbang coming out to delay a little bit more from the side of Nexus as well. That's a very good help shot, and also Xelo clutching it out as his teammate died. 15-4, and I have to say, this is one of the most dominant performances we have seen so far in this tournament. And something I did not expect. I don't think you expected this hard of a win as well.
I wanted to reiterate, whilst I did full-on go for Nexus, I even said, could definitely be a free mapper. But
could be overtime.
Yeah, and was overtime in the beginning. But look at this now. Nexus so convincing, showing up so well. And it's just such a strong performance by them. They own Mirage. This is their map. This is their playground. And they make that clear with how strongly they fight against Apex. Raga here tosses a bit of a spray down through the smoke, but so far, nothing's happened just yet. A little bit of damage on Akers to open it up, and that's all. Marcelius here from Connector. Might have a bit of a peek here, might have a bit of a chance. But BChen from top mid could also play it through. Akers here is going to be in a critical position if they do decide to go through B-apps. However, it looks like they are denying or leaving that position B. Rather preferring to go for the mid control. Molly now being thrown onto window, cleaning out that position. And Xelo here looking ahead.
We see Marcelius trying to play around that smoke position. Xelo just being so strong so far, winning multiple clutches for his team. As now we have He-Man moving in. He will be refragged by Xelo. He saw two players, or at least one, go in towards that underpass, but misses a shot on towards Marcelius. Wants to go for yet another peek, but he needs some support as well. Yet the other players are moving on towards the A side. Xelo with yet another frag. Oh, get a bird! Only Akers alive, and Nexus, this is the round they win it, despite losing their all-player. It is a 1v2 remaining. Akers still has the AK, but he doesn't even have a defuse kit. And the time it's ticking on and on and on. It seems like Nexus is probably the strongest team so far if you just compare it towards Apex. Raga having the spot. Seminci still having a molly as well. He can throw that on towards the bomb, but it's not necessary. 16-4 will come out. And the Romanian team, they are just so incredibly strong.
Raga finished it off there, and Nexus absolutely stomping almost, I'd say, Apex here in this second map. We've not seen any performance so far that was as strong as Team Nexus showed us here today. Clearly, the Romanian powerhouse, you know, Group C is the place where they come to show. A 2-0 situation as well, not something either of us anticipated. We saw Group C in the start look to be one of the potentially closest groups so far, but now with this start off, with Team Nexus showing up so hard,